Steven Spielberg brought dinosaurs to D.C. Wednesday as the director's new film Jurassic Park made its world premiere in the nation's capital. The cast was joined by many Washington VIPs at the screening of the movie, which is based on the Michael Crichton novel of the same name. 300 inner-city kids also attended the opening, which raised money for the Children's Defense Fund. CNN's Sherry Sylvester has more on the film that is expected to be one of the summer's biggest blockbusters.
When Michael Crichton was asked what he was writing, he replied, "The most expensive movie ever made." It turns out Jurassic Park is only the third priciest film this summer, but it is expected to take the biggest bite out of the box office.
Dinosaurs and man, two species separated by 65 million years of evolution, have just been suddenly thrown back into the mix together.
I love the almost arrogance of the campaign where, you know, there's this giant poster in black and it just says June 11th, 1993, like 4 months ago. And I'm thinking, wow, they won't even say what the name of the movie is.
I didn't realize it was going to be this machinery of this whole organized campaign with lunch boxes.
And before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it.
The story was a simple sell. Scientists, through the magic of DNA, have been able to clone dinosaurs 65 million years after their extinction. But it took Steven Spielberg to bring them to the big screen in a believable way.
You know, this isn't a beast from 20,000 fathoms. You know, this isn't Dinosaurus, and this isn't The Lost World. This is really a movie that I think is really happening as I'm watching it.
You said you've got a T-Rex?
How believable were they when you saw them?
We had dinosaurs on the set, and they were completely realistic.
So there, you're acting with a dinosaur, and that's all there is to it. You know, like 15 guys where one would operate the breathing, one's operating the blinking, one the tongue. It's an amazing creature.
I was scared of them, and what's more, the T-Rex, for instance, weighed about 3 tons. Now, if you're in the way of that thing and it's moving, you could be seriously hurt.
Behind the scenes, the cast had other forces of nature to fear as Hurricane Iniki tore through their sets on the island of Hawaii. The experience brought the cast closer together, particularly Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum, who began dating after the film wrapped. But questions about their relationship have been far outnumbered by questions about the dinosaurs.
What the dinosaurs are like. I mean, everybody wants to know.
Everyone is dealing with the dinomania.
Kids, and my kids, who have a whole new light of respect in their eyes.
To the Empire in London's Leicester Square for the royal premiere of Steven Spielberg's 1993 blockbuster movie Jurassic Park. Now, they had promised me a limousine for tonight, and this is what turned up, but they assure me it's dinosaur-proof. Shall we go, boys? This has to be the most publicized, hyped, and in box office terms, the most successful movie of all times. It's already taken a staggering $200 million in just over 4 weeks in the United States, and now it's our turn to rave about it. Well, the critics have given it the big thumbs up, and the Princess of Wales is here tonight to meet the stars and the movie makers, and of course to watch the film. And you can do that with us as well as we talk to the stars and watch the presentation to the Princess of Wales, and of course preview some of the highlights of the film. Sam Neill, everybody's talking about the special effects. How impressed were you by them?
Well, I was very impressed. I'm impressed to see them on the screen, and I was impressed on the floor when we were shooting the film. The special effects are such that they never really feel like special effects. They feel like dinosaurs.
Was it quite moving to see your first dinosaur?
Well, the first dinosaur was sick, you know, and I always feel sorry for sick animals, and this is a very big sick animal. And he looked so real and kind of pitiable that it sort of brought a tear to the eye. But you'll see him in the film, you know.
Now, the film has been so successful. Did you expect it to be like this?
Well, I thought it would be a success. You know, I thought all the ingredients were there. We had Spielberg and some great actors and a good script and some pretty good dinosaurs. So the film would work and people would like it. But I had no idea that it would take off in the way that it has. It's become sort of this tidal wave type phenomenon. No stopping it.
They say you should never work with children or dinosaurs or something like that. You ended up doing both. How was that?
Yeah. Well, I survived, you know, and I came out the other end. And I made some good friends, you know. The kids are good friends of mine. The dinosaurs are not quite as friendly, but, you know, we'll probably work together again, who knows?
Well, you have 3 children of your own. What do they think of the film?
Well, one of them is seeing it for the first time tonight, and he can't wait. And my oldest one has already seen it, and she seemed absolutely horrified at the time, but she wants to see it another half dozen times, so I guess it worked for her.
Are they very impressed that it's their dad up there?
Yeah, it's kind of cool to have Dad in a film that all their friends are talking about. It makes a change.
If there is to be a sequel, would you like to be in it?
Yeah, but well, particularly if Steven's directing it, because I think most of the magic of the film is largely due to his, you know, to his being at the helm. So I'd very much like to be in it if he's doing it.
Now, Michael, the big question on everybody's lips is how likely is all of this to happen?
Well, the truth is that it's not really likely at all. I mean, I think at some point in the future, we could very well see that we have this ability, and certainly the film is very persuasive, very convincing. You believe what you're seeing now. But I think that part of the pleasure of it is to understand that while this may be in our future, it's certainly not in our present.
As far as the film goes, you've left this island, there are all these dinosaurs roaming about on it. What are you going to do? There has to be a sequel, you have to get them all off there.
Well, you know, it's certainly the sequel has been discussed by almost everyone, but at the moment there are no plans for one. So at least for now, there's only one Jurassic Park.
You're not sitting down at your typewriter and getting it all started again?
No, a few thoughts, but nothing yet.
If you could bring back any creature to life, what would it be?
What an odd question. I think you mean a dinosaur or any creature?
Any creature at all.
I'm very fond of dodos. I'd have the dodos back.
Bob Peck, you of course are very well known for your classical roles and your work with the RSC. How did you find the whole Hollywood experience?
It was very different. Something of a holiday for me. 3 weeks in Hawaii and then the odd appearance in Universal.
And did you enjoy the whole film though?
Yes, very much. I'd never worked in a big American studio before, and my kids enjoyed LA.
Oh, you took them all out, the whole family out there while you were filming?
Yeah.
What do they think of the end result?
Well, they didn't sleep at all the night they saw it, but it was very late, and there haven't been any bad repercussions since, except they want to see it again.
Oh, do they? They'll be torturing you to get a video of it. Now, the reaction to the film has been absolutely astonishing. Did you ever think it would be this big?
Well, if you go into a movie with Spielberg, I think you have to expect something like this.
Now, are you lured to Hollywood? Will you be heading back there again to do more films with them?
Give them the right part and interesting work.
You're open to offers?
I'm open to offers, yes.
Thank you. Now, Ariana, even though you knew that all of those dinosaurs were just kind of models and everything, were there any times when they're a bit scary close up?
Yeah, there were a few times when I was shooting on the set. They were just so real, and really the dinosaurs, they're actually there with us almost the whole time, and they're really like alive creatures right there with you, living and breathing creatures, and some of them are so scary. Like, they're not even hard to be scared of, like the T-Rex. And there's this one scene of the T-Rex I always remember so vividly as being even frightening to film because it was just so real. Was when I'm in the car with Joe Mazzello, and we have that plastic bubble over us, which is the top of the Jeep, and the T-Rex is over us, and it's crashing down on top of us, and we're screaming, and it's biting this plastic thing, and it was so scary. It was actually biting it there, and it left teeth marks on it.
Oh no, so those were real screams.
Yeah, it wasn't too hard.
Did you enjoy working with Steven Spielberg?
Oh, he was great. He just made everything so fun. He's really like a great friend that's just this absolute genius. He's just amazing. He's so creative. I mean, he'll make up things right on the spot and just change scenes to be totally different, but then they're so much better. And every single time, it's just so amazing. He just really made it so fun for us.
Welcome back. Now, director Steven Spielberg has earned a reputation as one of the world's most respected and successful talents. He has directed and/or produced 6 out of the top 20 films of all time. I'm a P.T. Barnum, he confesses. I like to put on a good show. Steven, it's absolutely terrific to see you in London. What do you think of the reception outside?
Fantastic.
this is amazing. I mean, they're making more noise than the Tyrannosaurus Rex out there right now.
And that's a pretty good feat.
Yeah.
Now, in the film, what do you see as the difference between science fact and science fiction?
Well, everything in the movie really is what I call science eventuality. They've actually been able to get a portion of DNA from a mosquito that was preserved in amber for something like 60 million years. And because of the nature of the science and because of our own technology, which is leaping into the future, that Michael Crichton found a great notion to base a dinosaur movie on. And it gave it an entire foundation of complete credibility for me. And I took that approach in making the movie, that I wanted it to be very credible, so the incredible wouldn't seem impossible.
Dinosaurs have got immense popularity as well. What is their appeal, do you think?
I don't know. I think I was nuts about dinosaurs when I was a kid. I think it was the first time I ever learned. I think my third or fourth word was, Triceratops.
Very impressive.
I just think that the kids have a fascination with things that are bigger than them, and they love playing with the little dinosaur toys. As children, I did certainly, because I was able to lord over the rulers of, the world for 250 million years.
And the great thing, of course, is they're dead.
Yeah, but it's great and not so great. In a way, I think it's wonderful that they're a part of, there's a mystery about dinosaurs. I think that's why the uncovery of bones in Montana or in Canada, wherever they find dinosaur bones today, is like a great mystery. And then what we did with this movie was we sort of fleshed them out and created a scenario that one day could possibly happen. Certainly not in the near future, but someday in the distant future, I believe.
Mr. Richard, this is the first time you've been back on screen since '79. What was it about this particular role which kind of tempted you back?
Oh, it wasn't the role, it was Steven Spielberg. I've known him for about 10 or 12 years, and he'd asked me on 2 occasions previously to play in a movie. The last one was Hook, and I couldn't do it. And this time he said, look, I know you're finishing Chaplin. Tell me when you have to be in England. Tell me when you have to do your music and your dubbing and so on. And we will schedule around you being back in England. Well, being an actor, I'm totally susceptible to flattery. You see.
That's the most flattery of all. Now, in the book, your character has sort of killed off and everything, and all actors like a good death scene. Did you feel a bit cheated?
I did. Actually, I read the book and I thought, my God, what a marvelous death scene. I then got the script and I was totally shattered. And I was talking to one of the executives at Universal and said, do you like the script? And I said, it's a marvelous script, yes, but I have no death scene. And he said, do you want a death scene or a sequel?
And you talked to your bank manager and you thought...
Well, my bank manager said a sequel.
I think so. Now, as a director, I mean, obviously you know how an awful lot of these special effects are done, but were you impressed with them when you saw them on screen?
I think they're extraordinary. I genuinely have never seen anything like it. I thought that I would, when I saw the film about 10 days ago, I thought, well, I'll go in and I'll think of how they did this and how they did that and so on. And after about half an hour, I didn't give a damn how they did it. I mean, I thought they were unbelievable. I mean, they are unbelievable. They are, you cannot, I mean, there's one shot where Sam and the 2 kids, who are my grandchildren, are running up a hill and they are pursued by a whole herd of animals who overtake them. Now, how, I mean, it's beyond my comprehension. I don't understand how they did it.
You're not telling me they weren't really there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, Jeff Goldblum, you star as the eccentric mathematician. You have to explain quite a lot of kind of complicated theories. Did you understand all that stuff, or did you have somebody kind of passing you bits of paper and telling you about it?
Karen, I read a book or 2 before I started and got in touch with the guys who actually know about it, and I learned enough to fake it, but it's interesting stuff. Chaos mathematics. It says that life is ultimately dangerous and unpredictable and uncontrollable.
Absolutely. How was it acting to nothing?
It was fine. There were a couple of scenes where the brilliant special effects people had us act to nothing and put in dinosaur images later, and it was fun. It's like being a kid playing a dinosaur.
Didn't they sort of give you a stick with the head on it?
The guy holding a big long stick with a face and just go, like that.
What about filming in Hawaii? Was that fun?
Very much fun. It was a beautiful paradise of an island before Hurricane Iniki hit on the last day. Very intense. It was a sad affair finally.
I believe Sir Richard Attenborough slept through most of the hurricane.
He was cool as a cucumber and heroic.
The dinosaurs are so popular at the moment. What do you think the appeal is?
I don't know. It's kind of mysterious, isn't it? I guess they've always been really popular, though. I mean, to think that they were around here and that they were so big, and it's startling.
Would you like to have met one?
Met one? Well, I did. I do. I got a chance to. Just
And Her Royal Highness has been met by Mr. Ian McMillan, who's manager of the Empire Leicester Square, and she's been taken straight up. Princess is now talking to Frank Marshall, who's the director of Amblin, and also the Film Alive, and Kathleen Kennedy, who is one of the producers of Jurassic Park, and I think I'm right in saying was responsible, after the terrible hurricane they had in Hawaii, of getting a lot of supplies in for both the crew and the islanders. Next to Kathleen Kennedy is Gerald Molan, who was another producer of Jurassic Park. And next, the Princess meets Michael Crichton, who was the author of Jurassic Park, the man from which the whole idea came. Michael is actually 6'8", almost the size of one of his dinosaurs, but not quite. Next to Michael is Next to Michael is actually Bob Peck, who of course stars in the film. He plays Muldoon. And a kiss on the cheek for Sir Richard Attenborough. They've obviously met many times before, and they're having a very good chat there. This, of course, is Sir Richard's first time back on screen since 1979, and a very welcome return it is too. Next to Sir Richard is the actor Jeff Goldblum, who plays the eccentric mathematician Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park. And now the Princess meets Sam Neill, who plays Dr. Alan Grant. And the Princess is now meeting Kate Capshaw, who is, of course, also Mrs. Steven Spielberg, and Steven Spielberg himself. And everybody's delighted to see him over for the premiere tonight. He wasn't able to make it to the last couple, but he was saying earlier that he's absolutely thrilled to be here and just astounded at the amount of people outside and also the complete success of the film. And last, but of course not least, 13-year-old Ariana Richards, who plays Lex in Jurassic Park, and she is presenting the Princess with a bouquet and a brochure of the evening. And the Princess moves in to see the movie, and I'm sure she'll really enjoy it. Jurassic Park is a childhood fantasy made real, a place where wonders come to life. It was created to be the ultimate fantasy, but someone forgot to tell the dinosaurs. From the Empire Cinema, a very good night.